Welcome back, TorchedFF. Thank you for being here. So I've been dealing with shoulder pain, and I couldn't really pinpoint it. Yesterday I was at the gym, and I was pressing, doing all kind of shoulder stuff, but I recognized when I rotated out for a shoulder press, I felt tension in the back upper trap. So in my supraspinatus, right above the spine of the clavicle. So I've been pressing into that, and it feels very tender to the touch. So before we get into our practice, I want you to know that if you have any tension in your body, you should go see a physical therapist or something of that nature. But when you do things like myofascial release and trigger point release, if you can get the muscle to relax and let go, the pain that you're feeling will go away, like almost immediately. And if it's not that, if you're just in chronic pain, you're probably not strong enough. So the muscles in our bodies, they do two things. They contract, and they only contract actually. That's all they do. They need an antagonist muscle, like bicep and tricep, for example. Your bicep is the protagonist, right? So your tricep will be the antagonist, and vice versa, depending on the contraction. So your bicep contracts. It needs the tricep to contract for the muscle to lengthen, right? So when you have tight quads or something of that nature, tight hamstrings, it's probably because your core or your glutes aren't strong enough. Just an example. So building strength and stability in places allows our body to let tension go, because all it's doing is trying to keep us safe. It's creating that tension to keep our body functioning as best as possible. It is up to us as the inhabitant of the vessel, of the body, to work it out, to see what's wrong, to pinpoint the tension, and to lean into it. And of course, laying on this lacrosse ball on this very tender spot is not nice. It's almost breathtaking, actually. So I breathe deeply and exhale. Just hanging out here for a minute, adding tension onto this point and increasing it as time passes by to see what I can let go of. Today's practice is about cars, controlled articular rotations. We do controlled articular rotations to open up our joints and create movement and expansion in our bodies. So to not get too specific, we are going to do cars on all of the major joints in our body. So hips, knees, ankles, shoulders, wrists. You can't really do cars on the elbow joint because it is a hinge joint. We can get all into that. Our wrists are not ball and socket joints, nor are our ankles, but we can still do cars there. So we'll work it out. I invite you to a seat, something that supports you best. Blocks are cool. Feel free to use them. Let's just take a few moments to settle into our breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once more, inhale. Exhale. Find rhythm in your breath and allow it to move. For me personally, I notice that when I'm doing nuanced things, I start to forget about the breath and I end up holding it. So from my perspective and in your body, I invite you to breathe deeply through the nose and slowly out of the nose. You can attach constriction for ujjayi or not. Do what you need to here. So let's start up to down. We'll start with the head. Slight tuck of the chin. Inhale, right ear toward shoulder. Or left. Chin up. Exhale, opposite ear toward shoulder. And tuck. Breathe in. To lift the chin. Exhale. To tuck and lower the head. In. Out. We'll do one more this way. And now switch directions. Inhale towards the opposite ear or shoulder. Exhale towards the other side. Inhales to lift the chin. Exhales to lower. After your 4, neutral spine. Lift the shoulders up, breathe in. Exhale back and down. Great. Wrists. You can reach the fingertips, palms forward. We'll rotate externally and internally. So feel free to allow the hands to switch that direction so that palms face out, fingers up, and palms face in, fingers down. And now we'll switch directions. Palms start in and down, and palms up and out. Now, another way to do this, if you want to save on time, same thing, we're doing it at the same time, but I like heels of the hands together, and you can rotate the fingers away, up and through, rotate away, up and through. And now we'll switch directions here. Fingers towards, down, and out. Great. Tabletop position. And we'll step into a lunge. Left knee can go forward first. We'll start on the right side. Left hand can rest on your thigh. Palm starts in on the right side. Inhale, reach your fingertips straight up. Rotate the palm out and exhale as close to your body as possible. You'll reach your fingertips behind until you get down to your hip. Palm faces back in. If it feels good for you, you can go near a wall and do this at a wall to train yourself so your arm doesn't come out here. But we're trying to keep it as close as possible without letting our torso turn as well. So of course, it's not going to be flush because our scapula doesn't work that way. But do your best to draw in towards midline with that rotation. We'll take one more. This direction. And now we'll go the opposite direction. So palm starts in. As you bring it up and back, palm has to face out to complete that circle. When you get here, palm has to turn in to come down. So as soon as you reach that midline going up, say you were meeting the radius of a circle. At that center point, Going back is when the palm has to flip. So here, it flips, and then we rotate up. And then you come back and around. Breathe in. And out. One more for good measure. And we'll take the other side. Palm face down, breathe to reach it up. Fingers out and back. You get the gist. Focus on one point, let your breath move, and take this slow. Feel the entire articulation of the rotation. Feel the circumference of your joints. Take advantage of this. Mobility is key to maintain health. It creates more availability for strength and stability. And it builds mindfulness so you can be aware of where your limbs are in space. One more. Wonderful job. Now I invite you to a seat. We'll do ankle and knee cars, and then we'll do hips last. So hook behind the thigh. You can take opposite elbow or bicep and take your knee. Opposite leg can be long if that supports you. Now you're not using muscles to lift this up. Allow your weight to lean back so that you can support yourself here in this reclined posture. We will flex our toes. We have inversion towards the inside, eversion towards the outside. So in, extend up, out and lower down. In and out. Take it in and out. Let your breath move you through it. And now we'll switch that direction. Press out and lift up. Draw in and lower down. Out to lift, in to lower. One more time. And then we'll rotate here at our ankle. So again, as much as you can feel, find that entire circumference of the circle. One more cycle this direction. And you'll switch direction. If this is your first time doing this, you might be making faces involuntarily. That's okay. It's a very nuanced position. Kick off the house shoe. Let it go. Let's take the other side. Hook under. Take your bicep and grab your same side knee. Inversion, eversion. Start with inside. Lift it up. Press out and lower down. In to lift. Out to lower. In. Out. In. Out. Great. Now we'll go out and lift. In and down. Out to lift. In and lower. Out, extend. In and bend. One more. Now those rotations, take your time. Full articulation of the rotation. Option to close your eyes so you can feel a little better One more cycle. We're going to do one more because even I skip sometimes. So take your time and feel through that entire rotation as best you can. Now kick off the house shoe. Now for the hips, you can do both kneeling and standing. I think kneeling is much more accessible in the body. Standing, you can always use support. If you're working on balance, I'll show you that variation. But first, hands plant, knees in line, kick your back heel up and back. You want to feel your glutes turn on. So we're not arching. We're keeping a nice long spine. Heel is up. Rotate your foot in as your knee comes out towards the armpit. Core is engaged. And then you lower down in line. Good. Take this slow so that your torso and your spine is not jerking and moving all over the place. You'll lift only as high as your hamstring and glute will allow. And then you'll rotate straight out, knee towards armpit. And release it down. One more time this way. Great. And now same thing, but opposite direction. Rotate out. Draw the heel in and up. And knees back in towards line. Draw out. Rotate up and in. And release it down. One more cycle here. And release that side. Beautiful job. Now, opposite side. Kick your heel up and back. Keep the core engaged. Stay neutral in the spine. Now rotate out and draw your knee towards armpit. Now my hips want to reach out to the left. And I'm doing my best to stay at center. And you'll notice that your core has to work a lot to maintain that stability. Be present with that. One more cycle. Inhale up. Back. And down. Inhale out. Rotate it back. And down. One more time. Control it, maintain stability, and release. Beautiful job. I invite you to sit back onto your heels. Toes can tuck. We might as well take care of our feet in the same breath. Toes tuck. Allow the weight to settle in to your heels. Gaze is softer, eyes closed. Hang out here with your breath in this meditation. And I want you to notice in the yogi toe stand meditation, how does your mind wander? With the focus on that tension in your feet, can you think of other things? Can you think about what's next to eat? Can you think about what's next on the agenda? I want you to resort back to your breath. Recognize the feeling in your body as sensation and recognize the thoughts that come and go. Follow your breath. Take a full inhale. Exhale. Take your time. Shift into a tabletop. You can untuck your toes. I move very slow because of how intense it is. You can lift your feet, point and flex the toes, bring rotations into the ankle. And now if you took that, toes are untucked. Sit back onto your heels on the tops of your feet. Now we're stretching the front side here of our ankle. And while this may be extremely comfortable for some, it's not comfortable for everybody. So meet yourself where you are. Settle into acceptance with this one. Take a full breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Gently find your way to a seat that's comfortable. Otherwise, you can stay right here. Let's take these next few moments. Hands to heart center. Shoulders back and down. May you continue to lead with love, for love will certainly follow. Hands to the mouth. May you speak with kindness and with gratitude, with grace and with peace. Hands to forehead. The big, beautiful, bright light within me sees, honors, cherishes, loves, and is inspired by the big, beautiful, bright light within each and every one of you. Inhale. As we bow together, we say, Namaste. Thank you for showing up for you, for moving your body, and for feeling through all of the things. If you are dealing with any injuries or anything of that nature, take care of your body. Talk to a professional. And drop that so you can continue to show up to you, for you, on this mat, unscathed. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace and love.